Harmony is found in the symmetry of the cruciform architectural plan of the San Satiro church in Milan. The core of its stability is the altar. The four choir creates an illusion of a sense of depth through the use of one-point perspective. This makes the elements further away look smaller than those closer to us. This contributes to the perception of a larger sense of depth. We perceive parallel elements in perspective as if they are converging, drawing our eye to the center. On the contrary, a body of water doesn't have a central focal point, and the flat blue color of the sea draws our attention to the horizon line, which distinguishes the different horizontal layers in a two-dimensional fashion. Its beauty is found when it's framed as a two-dimensional background contrasting the grey colors of the town. The life of this island is inseparably connected to the sea. Its economy and culture are in and of the sea. The mayor's concluding sentences at the inauguration of the King's Ferry Bridge of the 20th of April in 1960. It brings beauty and more life into the natural reserves outside the small urban pockets of land. It is the core of the inhabitants' work and life. As in 1960, when the mayor inaugurated the King's Ferry Bridge, today, the sea is the main concern of Sheerness's citizens. Its power and unpredictability may result in danger at times, especially considering that the level of the water is rising drastically. But, despite this, the shore remains an integral part of the lives of people on the island of Sheppey, whether for pleasure, work, or both. Since 1978, the coastline at Sheerness has been restrained behind a wall, 2.8 meters in height, that spans across the town. The flat topography of Sheerness means that the sea is not visible from anywhere in the town. The source of an infinite blue is blocked by a wall. The proximity of Sheerness to the estuary of the Thames has made it vulnerable to variable tide levels. The wall there had been considered as part of a new defence scheme, and it was proposed to raise it further in order to contain the worst of the sea. The view from the narrow streets of the town has a solid, grey, flat background blocking the light that is reflected from the vast North Sea. The result is that Sheerness feels out of touch with its strong natural geography. At a screening hosted by a local artist, Piero presented his films titled La bellezza del mare. The two films were made following his trip to Capri and presented as interactive installations where those watching could also walk around cut canvases onto which the film was projected. In the discussion after the show, it was pointed out that the film was clearly a critique towards how the beauty of the sea is diminished in Sheerness, and how much potential the view could have.
Il mio film non osserva la natura stessa, ma la natura esposta al nostro metodo di interrogazione. Il mare di Capri ti dà una percezione di essere nell'infinito blu. E ovunque tu sia, anche quando cammini tra i sentieri, c'è sempre la sua presenza sullo sguardo. Qui invece c'è un muro che proietta sensazioni di oppressione e isolamento, rendendo la spiaggia un luogo parallelo e distaccato dal resto. I tagli sulle tele rappresentano un modo in cui si possa osservare di nuovo l'infinito blu, dando un senso di profondità alla città.
Piero lived in a very narrow street in Capri and travelled every day to Napoli for work. He would have long walks back to the port as he admired the beauty of the promenade next to the sea, by still being part of the chaotic movida of the Napolitans' teenagers having aperitivo. He was in continuous contact with the city's natural landscape, as he would have to get a boat twice a day, every day. The beauty of Naples lays in encompassing its inherent natural conditions, without trying to limit its activity. Following his trip to Capri, he was staring out at the infinite blue sea, visible from his living room window, when it occurred to him that, opposing the rays of the Sheerness seawall, would have to become the most urgent priority, if we are to allow new lines of sight and immersion into the landscape, while still keeping Sheerness safe. The wall is extended into the sea to create new lines of sight, visually and physically conjoining the two environments that were once separated. Adding spectacles that align with the horizon, visual harmony has been woven into the urban environment. New openings are framed with the glimpses of the blue horizon, extending the streets of Sheerness into what is an infinite blue spectacle.